Welcome to the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. This is your go-to resource for personal growth, mastering communication, and influencing and persuasion techniques that will help you unleash the full potential of yourself and others. Here is your host, Alex Morgan.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. My name is Alex Morgan. I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP. And in this episode, we're going to discuss the importance of feeling good physically and having really good mental well-being, and how you can create really healthy habits with each of these. Because this is really important for different reasons, and I'll get into a lot of those throughout the podcast. Me personally, this is really important for me because if you listened to the first episode ever in this podcast, I shared my personal story, and I was heavily drinking for many years. And after a while, actually soon after I stopped drinking, I immediately lost about 25 to 30 pounds. Not immediately, okay, over, let's say, a couple of months. And so I started sleeping better. I started feeling better mentally once I essentially cut out this alcohol or this poison out of my body and mind. So to me, it's really important to not feel physically drained, getting proper sleep, or feeling mentally drained. So you don't want to let stress, anxiety, burnout take over. There's no point in really hustling and grinding all the time. So you're also mentally exhausted and can't be there for your business, for your family, for your friends. It's like having all these burners on a stove, and you have to keep them going in a way that's balanced and good for you. And one of the things that's really important is your mental and physical health. Because without this, what do you really have? If I have a bunch of money, what good is it if I don't have my health? What can I actually share with people? I want to feel healthy so I can really do whatever it is that I want to do, like travel the world or meet new people, have new experiences. If I don't have my mental and physical health, I'm not going to feel good doing that, and I'm not going to do it. So today I continue being sober. I've been sober now for over 10 years. I haven't had any alcohol, and for me, this is really important for my physical and mental well-being. So that's just a little bit about me and why it's important to me. So I'm sure if it's important to you, that's why you're listening to this episode. And the thing is physical health and mental health, these things are all really connected. And if you really have all of these things working together, physical health and mental health, you're going to have this well-being that you really want. And some of the things that this does, it's going to increase your life satisfaction. Of course, it's going to improve your mental health. It's going to increase your productivity. It's going to improve your physical health. It's going to help you make better decisions. And you're going to feel more fulfilled in your life if you have physical and mental health. So there's plenty of benefits. So I hope throughout this episode, there's plenty of takeaways for you. I don't like to tell you exactly what to take away because I want that to sink into your mind with what will be most important to you. And then you get to attach what you learn to your values, and that'll feed your motivation to actually achieve physical and mental health for your reasons, why it's important to you. So when we think about it, why I'm doing what I'm doing is different. Why you're doing what you're doing is going to be different. So as you listen to really any of these episodes on this podcast, you need to think, why is it that you're doing what you're doing? And that's going to really feed into your motivation. And that's why you put time, money, and energy into the things that you really want. So physical health and mental health, they're connected because the mind and body are connected. So if we have good thoughts, guess what? We're going to bring in good things in our life. Our whole life outside of us, it's like a mirror. It's like a dream. Is it really happening? All the things that people are doing and saying and causing us to feel, if we're even saying things like this, like that person makes me feel this way. These are a mirror of what we're thinking on the inside. So if you can change your thoughts, your mental well-being is going to be much better, and you're going to start to notice good in many, many people. There's not going to be much chaos. There's not going to be much drama. You're going to be living more in calm, in peace, and joy, and happiness, and confidence, and fulfillment, satisfaction, abundance, whatever it is that you want. So if you want to have really good physical and mental well-being, you also need to hang around people that take this seriously as well. If I want to be fit, or I want my mind to be really sharp, I'm going to surround myself with people who can expand my thinking, people who are going to push me to exercise or work out more, or I'm going to be hanging around people that are talking about these things, that are actually doing these things. People are putting in the effort, because there's only two things that we can really, really control. We can control our effort. So if you want physical and mental well-being, you need to control your effort. You need to put effort into achieving these things. And then we can control our attitude. So our attitude, if we can control that, that's pretty easy if you think about it. Just go into every situation and really think, how can I benefit here? What can I learn from this? And if you are feeling bad, you can even ask yourself, what can I do instead? So if you notice yourself in a situation and you don't like it, you can either remove yourself from that situation, because that'll help your physical and mental well-being, or you can ask those questions, how can I feel good in this situation? What can I learn from this? Or what can I do instead? So the mind and body are connected. Everything is interconnected within us. So if we can have good thoughts, our mind is also going to be thinking these thoughts, and then our body is also going to be feeling good. If we hold negative emotions in the body, things like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, frustration, irritation, regret, if we're continuously thinking these things and holding these things in our body, physically, we're not going to feel as good. So this is one of the things that I really help people do, is we reframe all the emotions they have so they can let go of them, and they can start to tell a new story to themselves. Really, when you release negative emotions, it can change the meaning of your whole reality. So if you see negative emotions, one of the things the unconscious mind does for your mental well-being is it will show you these negative emotions, these events, and it'll tell you, hey, look, I'm putting this up for a reason. You need to resolve this. You need to take care of this. You need to do something about this. And if you don't do anything about it, guess what? You repress it down. You hold on to that negative emotion. It's like you put it in a black bag and you push it down into the abyss to where you don't want to see it again. Eventually, you're going to have to do something about these things, only if you want to. However, if you release negative emotions, you can do this with the unconscious mind. So this shows you that the mind and body, they're connected. These negative emotions are bad for the body and for the mind. And if you can let them go, instead you'll have lots of room now in your neurology and your mind and your body to feel good, to feel different emotions. Because what happens is once you work on these events, let's say anger, so you go back to the first time that you ever felt anger, and you release this anger, you still have this event in your mind. However, this anger has been released, and it released the anger of all of the events in your mind, because the unconscious mind, it's storing our emotions. So once it releases that, those events, you don't feel anger on them anymore. Instead, you learned from those events. And those learnings you can now use, so when you encounter similar situations in the future, you can use different positive emotions, or at least neutral emotions, things that make you feel good, to then use those resources to handle new situations, so you can actually achieve good things like freedom and abundance. So this really shows how the mind and body are connected. There's so much research on this nowadays, so you need to think good thoughts. You need to release negative emotions. You even need to release things like limiting decisions. If you're continuously thinking that You don't deserve it. You're not good enough. You're not healthy. You can't make enough money. There's negative emotions also attached to this, and this is the mind-body connection. So if you don't get rid of these limiting decisions, then guess what? This is also going to harm your mental and physical well-being. Because if you don't think you're strong enough or deserve it, how are you really going to push yourself to increase your physical and mental strength or resilience? How are you going to do that? You're going to do that setting up new daily practices that you can really do so you can achieve physical and mental well-being. Because the thing is a lot of people, they have a strategy in their mind for things like stress, for anxiety, for pain, discomfort, all these things. Many people are living with chronic pain, stress, anxiety, and there's no real reason that you can need to do this. So one of the easiest ways that you can do this is with self-hypnosis. So if you listen to one of the last episodes I did a week ago, it's a whole episode with different self-hypnosis techniques that you can do, and these will help alleviate stress, pain, anxiety, and things like this. One of the easiest ways, though, that you can get rid of stress and anxiety is when you wake up, you need to move around. Every day when I wake up, I, brush my teeth, use the restroom, all of these things. Shortly after, though, I drink a glass of water, I eat a piece of fruit, and then I'm moving around. I'm lifting some weights. I'm doing some squats. I'm moving my whole body. Because when you move your whole body, you get your blood flowing, you get oxygen going through your whole body. You're showing your body that you have a different strategy for something, that you want your body to feel good. It releases those feel-good things in you when you're working out. And that feeling also lasts after you exercise. So if you have stress, if you have anxiety, one of the most important things that you can do is move around. Even go outside walking if you don't want to lift weights or something like that. You can also use your own body weight. Push-ups, sit-ups, all these things. You don't have to have a bunch of fancy equipment. Really, all I have is a couple of weights that I use, and I just move my body. I make sure that I'm moving my body all around. Something else that you can easily do to increase physical and mental well-being is you can do self-hypnosis, meditation, mindfulness, hypnosis, have some sort of practice. It doesn't have to be so long. Even with the exercise, you can just get moving for 5-10 minutes. Just get moving, break a little sweat, get going, feel good at the start of the day. Don't just sit down and do nothing. So with hypnosis, meditation, mindfulness, self-hypnosis, whatever it is that you want to do, just set aside time for yourself to go within, set some intentions for the day, connect to your resources that you have inside of you. Because if we work out and we're feeling good and we relax, we don't have to relax right after. You can relax at any time of the day. But if you set aside time for yourself during the day to actually feel good and go within and set some intentions, that's going to create a new habit. It's going to create a new strategy. And in the last episode with the self-hypnosis, I said what you need to do is write down in a journal what you plan to do, what little self-hypnosis technique do you plan to do, and write down the benefits of it. Write down how you feel for 30 days on a piece of paper, and write down the benefits. How are you benefiting from doing this? It's amazing what can happen if you have a way to relax for 30 days. The benefits that you'll notice, they're huge. And all you did was set aside, let's say, 5-10 minutes a day just to relax, just to go within, or just to set some intentions for the day. Intentions for the day are just things that you can achieve. So let's say you have a goal that you want to make $20,000 a month profit. Your intention for the day could be to, hey, I need to start 10 conversations with potential new clients. It doesn't have to be the 20,000. It's just something small that you can do in that day to get you closer to your goal. And the thing is if you're doing that and you're working towards a goal, people who are working towards goals, they're going to feel more fulfillment. They're going to feel more satisfaction. And when you feel those things, you're going to feel better physically. You're going to feel better mentally. Recently, I set a new goal. This goal I'm not probably going to achieve until 2025. However, I can set small intentions each day to get closer to that goal. Now, though, it's something that I really want to achieve. I have really good emotions about achieving it. I feel excited, satisfied. I know the goal will be fulfilling for me because what the goal will get for me and allow me to do will be really, really good for myself, for my business, all of these things. So what I'm saying is, if you can set a goal, you could have intentions, and you can enjoy what you're doing along the way once you know the steps and kind of work backwards from, hey, here's the end goal. This is what I want to do. And you follow those steps, you're going to have better physical and mental well-being when you're actually focused on doing something that you want to do. So this goal, it's going to be fulfilling for me. So now I feel better physically and I feel better mentally. Now I get to wake up, I get to move around, do some exercise. I get to have days where I do hypnosis. And now I have a goal that I'm like, hey, I'm ready to do something about this goal today. So even as I'm recording this podcast, I'm thinking about the goal now and I'm excited talking about it. So if you could find something that you're excited doing and you can help people with this goal after you achieve the goal, it'll also help people. It will make you money. It will create a better relationship with your family, your friends. It will make you feel better physically and mentally. That's what really matters. So find something that you really enjoy doing because that will also help you feel better physically and mentally. And another way to really feel good physically and mentally is you need to celebrate your victories along the way. You need to take note each day. What did you do that you really enjoyed doing? What did you achieve? And a good time to do this is kind of before you start your pre-sleep routine, not necessarily when you get in bed. You don't need to be having all these thoughts. However, think, I had a good day. I deserve to really relax now because I did these things. I achieved them. I took steps towards my goal. I moved around in the morning. I had good thoughts about this. I relaxed. I worked on getting rid of stress, anxiety, pain, discomfort, whatever it is. I called my family. I had some really good conversations. I did things to help my business, to further my physical and mental well-being. I actually focused on my physical and mental well-being. And another thing that you can do, so along with celebrating these victories, not enough people actually celebrate good things that they accomplished. They more focus on the bad things. So if you did have some things that weren't, let's say, so great throughout the day, you need to also clear these things out. So before you start your pre-sleep routine as well, you can clear these things out. You can think, okay, do a little inventory. This happened today in the morning. Let's say some people had trouble, you launched a new course and some people had trouble logging into the website and this caused you stress. So at the end of the day, kind of zoom out on the day, notice this event and say, hey, you know what, this happened. I made a solution though, so now I can put this really good positive emotion. Now I can feel good about it instead. You don't need to take that into the next day and feel stressed about it again. You don't need to feel anxious about it again or have worries or doubts about it again. So a good way to really help your physical and mental well-being is clear out the events. Clean out kind of your timeline for the day. Notice what beliefs you had for the day. And if you thought you weren't good enough or didn't deserve it or all these things, clear those out. You don't want to keep carrying those into the coming days, weeks, months. The more you don't clear it out, the more those become a habit. So you want to have a habit of clearing out these events so you can feel good instead. So then when you actually are ready to go to sleep, you're relaxed, you're calm, you're feeling good. And sleep is really important for physical and mental well-being. That means there's a lot of things that you can do to get better sleep. You need to have a nice pre-sleep routine. So if that involves taking a nice shower, relaxing, reading, writing, doing some small activity that relaxes you, it's best if you're not on your phone. Have your bed, have a really comfortable mattress, comfortable pillows. Once I found a pillow that I liked, I just buy really nice, comfortable pillows. Those really help me sleep. Have your room a certain temperature so it's ideal for you to sleep. You don't need to watch TV, don't need to be on your phone so much. Your bed is really for relaxing, sleeping, or being with your partner. That's what you need to use it for. So physical and mental well-being, of course, better sleep is really going to help this. Because the thing is during sleep, our unconscious mind, it's working with us. It's breathing for us. It's pumping our heart, our blood, all of these things. It's trying to replenish us and preserve and run our body so that when we wake up, we actually have energy. So if you can have good thoughts before bed, and even better, if you can ask yourself for solutions before you go to bed, your unconscious mind will work on those solutions while you sleep. So let's say you want to have a solution in your relationship or business or whatever. Just ask your unconscious mind a really good, curious question. And then when you wake up, it will have run your body, preserve your body, refreshed you, gave you energy for the next day because you didn't have stress, anxiety, pain, or discomfort. So instead of fighting off those things, it's thinking about how it can replenish you, and it will give you that solution for the next day so that you can start on it and set new intentions towards your goal. So if you can sleep and use sleep, you can use sleep as like an extra time to be efficient, not necessarily work. However, your unconscious mind is always going and it knows the answers. It wants what's good for you. So if you can ask some really good questions when you go to sleep, your unconscious mind will reveal those to you and you'll be ready to work the next day and really accomplish a lot of things and be more productive because you'll have your physical and mental well-being. So if you really want to get good sleep, one of the ways to do that is, of course, hypnosis. I've helped plenty of people get some really good sleep with hypnosis because that allows them to be more productive and achieve more throughout the day. So if you have any questions about that, you can email me, alex@athensnlp.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram @AlexMorganHypnosis. So those are some of the things that I think are important for physical and mental well-being. They're all easy to do, and it's all about creating a new habit. You want to give your unconscious mind good things to focus on. So start small. Just move around. Start a really small daily practice of hypnosis or meditation, self-hypnosis, mindfulness, just a few minutes a day. Set aside time for yourself to focus on your breathing is all. Or you could just have a little mantra every time you breathe in, 1, breathe in, 1. And just do that for a few minutes and relax and focus on something else. And clear out that timeline, clear out any problems and celebrate those wins. This will help you get a good night's sleep. So thanks so much for listening to this episode. Wherever you're listening, go ahead and rate the podcast. That'll help it get into the minds of many others. If you have a suggestion of what you want me to talk about next, go ahead and send me an email, and I hope to see you on the next episode.